Good evening, I am Michael Ricketts and this is your news in English for today. The International Monetary Fund has completed the sixth review under the Extended Fund Facility for Suriname. Following this completion, the government can draw $61.5 million. The IMF has also approved Suriname's request for a waiver of the non-compliance with the performance criteria at the end of March 2024. According to the IMF, Suriname is implementing an ambitious economic reform agenda. The program focuses on restoring fiscal and debt sustainability through fiscal consolidation and debt restructuring, protecting the vulnerable by expanding social protection, improving the monetary and exchange rate policy framework, addressing vulnerabilities in the banking sector, and promoting anti-corruption. The authorities' determination to implement politically challenging reforms is commendable. The complete elimination of fuel subsidies, the gradual phasing out of electricity, water, and gas subsidies, broadening the VAT base, and limiting wage costs are politically costly but necessary reforms. According to Kenji Okamura, Deputy Director and Acting Chair of the IMF Executive Board, structural reforms are progressing with stronger momentum. Remarkable progress has been made in debt restructuring. Bilateral agreements have been reached with all official creditors and most commercial creditors. Domestic debt arrears have been cleared. Minister Stanley Raghubarsingh of Finance and Planning stated that a decision has yet to be made regarding the SRD 8 million that has been budgeted by his colleague at the Ministry of Internal Affairs Bronto Sumoharjo for organizing the elections. Approval is still pending. Raghubarsingh believes that the amount does not need to be that high. Meanwhile, the costs are already increasing due to election preparations. Raghubarsingh addressed several issues during a press conference on Wednesday concerning the decisions made in the cabinet meeting. The SRD 8 million budget for organizing the upcoming elections was discussed again. In any case, the funds required for organizing the elections will be provided, part of the cost to be covered in the next year's budget. Minister of Finance Stanley Raghubarsingh indicated on Wednesday following the cabinet meeting that the value-added tax VAT on utilities has been in effect since January of this year. It had been put on hold for 6 months due to extensive criticism from society. Minister Raghubarsingh noted that the government achieved 98% of its targeted VAT revenue last year. He mentioned that the International Monetary Fund (IMF) could have been more lenient regarding VAT revenues in the country. According to the minister, this year's outlook also appears positive with estimated revenues of SRD 5.5 billion. Raghubarsingh expects Suriname to exceed the target set for the first 4 months of this year when all revenues are tallied together. The minister is advocating for Suriname to continue collecting VAT as the revenues can be put to good use. He emphasized the need to increase non-tax revenues moving forward. And that concludes the News in English reports for today. Thank you so much for listening. Have a pleasant evening.